thy holy face. With the dawn of redeeming grace.
Hello and welcome, everyone. So excited to be here with you all. My name is Ariane Harley Emerson. I'm the artistic director and founder of Elevate Vocal Arts and of Elevation. And today I am joined by, Eric Meyer is joining us. I don't know, say joined by, I don't know what is proper there, but Eric Meyer is with us today. So welcome, Eric.
Glad to be here. Good. Thanks for having me here.
Of course, Eric is our incredibly amazing and gifted collaborative keyboardist and our composer in residence. And today we're going to be having just a conversation about Elevation, our founding, and some of Eric's work. In celebration of Founders Day. So what is Founders Day? Well, I will tell you. Founders Day is the day that we celebrate the founding of Elevate Vocal Arts. Many of us are founders. Eric is a founder. We have many board members who are founders, singers, vocal artists who are founders, but it's the community of people that made Elevate Vocal Arts more than a dream, but in fact, a reality. And on this day, we celebrate Elevate Vocal Arts founding, and we look to support it to ensure that it can be here well into the future. And so we need your support, yes, coming to concerts, and we also need your financial support as well. So thanks to everyone who has already supported us in this season of giving. And for those who have not yet, this is your opportunity. You see the QR code here for donating. We hope that you will give today, make a financial contribution. No gift is too small. No gift is too small. Even if you're like, I can only give $5, that $5 helps to power the mission of Elevate Vocal Arts. And hey, that's a score. That's one octavo for one of our students in a school residency, or perhaps even one of our vocal artists in Elevation. So we hope that you will be inspired to give today. If you are interested in making a major gift of some sort, or perhaps having a gift of securities or some sort of distribution from a donor advised fund or a retirement account of some sort, please know that you can reach out to us as well. Just email donations@elevatevocalarts.org. Again, that's donations@elevatevocalarts.org. And we would be happy to connect you with folks to facilitate that giving. Now, we are here today to have a really great conversation with Eric. And Eric, first of all, tell us, who are you? What do you do? Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm Eric Meyer. I guess I'm basically from Philadelphia. I've lived in a few other places, but Philly is my home. Philly is where I grew up. So this is just where I feel like I'm from. I'm one of those freelance musicians who does sort of everything that can kind of comes my way. I'm the organist at the Episcopal Cathedral in Philadelphia. I teach at Temple University. I compose for fun as well as for various groups. Do arranging work, company choirs, kind of whatever needs to be done. But I say that with an element of joy. It's doing all these things brings me joy. It's not that I'm trying to scrap something together. It's a really good life. I feel very fortunate to be living this life.
Well, we feel very fortunate to have you, and you are incredibly gifted and a really important member of the Elevate Vocal Arts team. And so thank you for all of your work. So just for folks who might not know, Eric and I first met in 2013. At that point, I was at the Choir School of Delaware, then the Cathedral Choir School of Delaware, and we were both. We ended up being randomly assigned rooming in the same suite, dorm for an RSCM, Royal School of Church and Music in America, RCMA camp at King's. It was the King's course up in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. And that's how we first met. And then after, oh, I guess we got to talking over things like choir and gin martinis, and then we became fast friends, and I ended up bringing the choir to where you were at that point in Chestnut Hill in the fall. So that's kind of how we met, and fortuitous and all of that. Um, and then as far as Elevate Vocal Arts getting started, do you want to talk a little bit, Eric, about just kind of like a conversation that we had, at Temple?
Yeah, it was just a little more than 3 years ago. There were some big changes going on. I mean, there was changes in the world. The pandemic was kind of ending at that point, and everything was shifting around. And you were just finishing up your PhD. I think you had 6 more months still, but sort of the question came up is what should we do? Like, what's next? What should we do?
Mhm.
And I'm not sure what prompted it, but I think I said to you, let's just do something crazy. Let's just do something crazy. And uh, I was thinking about this recently just because of Founders Day. 3 years ago, when we had that conversation, if someone had said to me, "You'll be headlining ACDA East conference in 2026," I would have just laughed. I would have said, "No, absolutely not." But I mean, what a roller coaster it's been since then, because we had our sort of initial recording sessions, we ended up doing EPs, we started concertizing, and here we are, and we're headlining ACDA East, and just what an absolute joy, it is to be on that ride.
Yeah, I remember that conversation so well, and it was one of those things like, I don't know, let's just do something. And yeah, it's just kind of, I think that one of the things that we have to remember is that like the words that we speak can actually change,
Mhm.
what is happening around us. And I definitely think that that's something we should all be mindful of, because that moment was a pivotal moment in the life in the birth and kind of founding of this organization. And so I had forgotten about that, and so I'm really glad that that you brought that up, because that's really a big part of the start of what we've been doing. So can you talk to us a little bit about your work in general as a composer? So Eric is a brilliant keyboardist, so piano, organ, harpsichord, all the above, all of the things with keys, keyboards. Um, but tell us a little bit about composition. How did you kind of get into it? Is that something that you just always did? Is it something you did out of necessity for a group that you were working with? How did you get into composition?
So the way I started doing it seriously was necessity, but I'll go back to when I was a teenager. This was the 90s, and anyone who was uh, working in music then knows, like, this is when music notation software became a thing. Before, it was like sequencers. It looks like our modern day DAWs, but uh, anyway, with this new software that my dad had purchased, I started putting in scores that I would just find. I was a really bad nerd. I'm not a bad nerd, but I was a mega nerd, and I just was putting in all these scores and just loving looking how they got put together and taking them apart and all that. And then I did write a couple pieces in my teenage years, but it was more of um, for fun. But when I was in college and I was working at a church, we had I started a choir at this particular church, and we had a very very typical church choir situation where I had maybe three sopranos, but nobody could sing higher than an F. I had 12 altos, one bass who couldn't read music at all, and it just was a very strange composition. But it was a great group, and they loved to sing. And I just I was frustrated that I couldn't find music that fit that very weird little niche size genre. So I started writing music for them, because I wanted them to sound as good as they could. And honestly, I just fell in love with that process, not just the whole process from finding the text, figuring out how it's going to work, and then making it work for the group you have in front of you. So that was the process. And as I continued down my career with different choirs in different churches, the compositional process changed according to the resources I had. Of course, when you get to elevation, that's when everything really changes, because that's like all of a sudden you're driving a Ferrari, and what are you going to do with this ensemble that can do anything?
Yeah, absolutely. And you just recently finished writing a piece for Elevation that is getting its world premiere at well, its official world premiere at the Eastern Region Conference, the American Choral Directors Association, ACDA's Eastern Region Conference. Can you tell us a little bit about that piece and your process for creating it?
Yeah, I was. Yes, so the text is a Maya Angelou poem, "A Brave and Startling Truth," and just with dealing with a lot of the weight that's been on our shoulders in the last year. Finding an inspirational poem that felt very real was that's what I was searching for. Inspirational poems that are maybe superficial. There's plenty of them, but I needed something that spoke to truth and dug into the reality that things aren't all wonderful. And what I loved about this poem by Angelou was just the way it acknowledged that there is a point that there is a place we can get to, and it is in the future, and it is attainable, but it's not here yet. The line that keeps repeating is when we come to it, when we come to it. And that to me that got behind my heart, because that's where I felt it, for lack of a better word, it just felt real. It felt like, yes, we can get to this point, and it's going to be a win. As I mentioned before, driving a Ferrari, knowing what elevation can do, knowing, I mean, there is no weakness in that choir. Starting from the text and then just working with this ensemble that can do anything. I tried to really push some limits of harmony and things like that. Vocal music we don't see a lot in vocal music, but that was my hope.
Absolutely. And it's like kind of jazz, kind of a hymn, kind of contemporary choral. It's really a great kind of fusion, and uses such like specific harmonic language that you use, but yet it's not something that's like, it's easy on the ear. It's not like, oh my gosh, these harmonies are so discordant and there's so much dissonance that I can't like hang on to anything. It's just really accessible, and I love that it's very text centered. When we come to it, the harmonic language plus the rhythm and how the text is set makes that line always very like clear, and it makes it clear that we have this charge to come to it. And
I like what you said there about the hymn. Yes, when it's that moment of when we come to it, that's the texture is like a hymn, and it feels like something you're saying with your heart, and amen. And then when we get to the nitty gritty, the dirtier stuff, working through the difficulties, that's when the harmony gets really wild and out there. But again, not inaccessible, just rich, just really rich and layered.
Right. Yeah, there definitely are some hard intervals, a couple of like crunchy chords that I was like, oh, we have to like bang out some notes here. But that's the joy of it, right? I think I cannot wait for people to hear this piece of music at the ACDA Eastern Region Conference. I mean, it's worth the trip, truly, just to hear this new piece. And the way where it comes in the arc of the full program is going to just leave people. I mean, I don't know that I'm going to make it through it. My goodness, it's going to be such a special moment. And I cannot wait for people to do this piece with their own choirs and their own ensembles. Definitely achievable, for moderately advanced choirs to advanced choirs for sure, are definitely going to be able to access this piece and do an excellent job with it. And I think it will provide a lot of opportunities to talk about Dr. Angelou and her text, and and bring it into today's time. So thank you for that piece. Again, the world premiere of that is going to be at the ACDA Eastern Region Conference. That is going to be on February 25th in Providence, Rhode Island. We hope that you join us. Choral conductors will be able to register for the conference. If you're wondering how you can hear this piece, we will be on tour in some places in Westchester, Pennsylvania, and also in Harlem at Abyssinian Baptist Church, the historic Abyssinian, where there'll be a little preview of that. So you all can keep up with us on our website and hear Eric's incredible new piece that we're excited to bring on the road into life coming up.
Can I add to
I
that
also
too?
want,
You mentioned before about how speaking a word has a power and can make things happen. I very genuinely believe that concert, the words that will be sung will change lives, because the arc of that program, it just shakes the bottom of your soul. It's gonna be magnificent.
That, yeah, for those who if you're on the fence about seeing this particular program, my words would be run, do not walk to get to one of these performances, whether right before ACDA or at the ACDA conference. I mean, I think that what has been put together here and what the ensemble is presenting is one, just virtuosic and incredible singing, but it's two, deeply relevant and meaningful and powerful. And as you're saying, Eric, like you cannot be like unmoved, by what you're going to hear. It's such powerful music and text working co-equally together in the program. And so I hope that folks will come out to hear that. I did want to also talk about another piece of yours. It's called Ozymandias. And one thing that we will do is if you want to check out some of Eric's work and just know more about Eric, we'll put a QR code up so that you can learn more about Eric and what he is doing. So it's there now. You can scan that. But I want to start talking about another piece that is on our first album, which in all honesty was not meant to be an album. It was kind of like, let's get some people together, turn on some recording and see like if this is like, actually a viable thing. And it was like, oh my goodness, there's enough content here for an album. And that was truly the Eternity album. But there's a piece entitled Ozymandias. You sent me a number of works and this one just like jumped right to me as like, oh, we've got to do this. I'm obsessed with it. Can you tell us a little bit about that piece, the text?
The text is
how you came to it?
The text is Percy Shelley, and it was it was mid-pandemic, and my oldest child, Lyd, and I had done a dramatic reading, kind of just joking along, just reading this text, but it really spoke to me. It was right at the time that Ukraine was invaded, and this was just one of those things I felt very deeply. I don't have any connection to Ukraine, but just sort of the instability that invasion caused in the world, and we continue to feel today, made me really think about the hubris of humans and how we are willing to sacrifice people's lives to claim ownership over a piece of land. And anyway, I won't go into great detail, but it hung on me deeply. And it was that poem that kept speaking to me, because in this poem, it's about a fictional king, Ozymandias, and at one point in time, he had claimed to some massive terrain, and now he's just a ruin of a statue in a desert, overseeing nothing. So I crafted this piece. I tried to sort of evoke a desert feeling, and the text is narrative, so the choir sings in a narrative way, and then when we get to the text, my name is Ozymandias. They are just declaring it with their full force and with the heaviest, crunchiest chords. Just sort of the absurdity that humans try to own things that don't belong to us, right? Land and drawing borders and things like that. Um, and yeah, I had sent it to you. It was shortly after that I had sent it to you. It was a relatively new piece at that time, and Elevation sang it like exactly the way I'd hoped. Just when the big part comes, my name is Ozymandias. It just it shakes you. It shakes you.
You know, it is terrifying as a conductor to like sculpt a piece in front of the composer, like because you're like, oh man, like I don't know, like particularly a piece that's never been done before, and there's like no reference for, and you're like, oh my goodness, like this is they probably think you've butchered this thing. It's so scary and frightening. I have to say that for sure. What is that experience like though for you as the composer, like hearing this piece like worked on like it's like I don't know, it's always such a interesting experience.
Um, Maybe I don't know. I think I group things into two categories. One is sort of my imagination, and then the other one is reality. And so when I'm writing a piece, it's all in the imaginary world, and it's not always real. So I have ideas, and then maybe this didn't happen with this piece, but I'm thinking of an orchestral piece I wrote where I had this idea of how it was going to sound, and then the reality, it was just very different. Not bad. And that was a learning point for me. I thought, okay, something in my imagination didn't translate directly to the reality. So anyway. The point is, it's a fascinating thing, that first listen, seeing what people respond to. That's another major element here, is the human element. But most composers now are writing on computers, and so they instantly hear back the notes and things. But it's a computer playing it, so it's dead of has no soul. But when the human puts themselves in there, maybe there's minuscule imperfections, but the humanity comes out, and it's thrilling and endearing. Anyway, I mean, I never got the impression you were nervous doing that piece, because it was just magnificent, and joyful for me to just hear a piece I wrote come to life, and for people to embrace it. Yeah, it was a thrilling moment. There's nothing else to say. It's just
Well, we were truly honored to do that, and we're going to take a listen to a recording of that, and we're also going to share with folks a QR code to the piece on Music Spoke in case they are looking to program it with their own choirs. It's SATB with piano. The accompaniment is pretty accessible. It's very lyrical but accessible, and the music itself, I think that you would be able to do with a good solid high school choir and beyond. Certainly community chorus would be able to approach it, this piece, as well. So we're going to get ready and roll the tape.
So thank you. Sorry, just because you mentioned the high school thing, the original version is SATB with the VC, but I did arrange it for plain SATB. So if there's a high school choir for whom 8 parts is way too much, the 4 part I think is a little more manageable. So just because people seem to really love it, I thought I'd give it a
little. Absolutely.
Sorry to interrupt.
No. Please interrupt away. Here we go. Yeah. Wow, 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 wow. I love that so much. It's so good. I can't wait till we do it again. I cannot wait till we do it again. Well, everyone, this has been wonderful to have this great conversation with Eric. Before we go, and before I remind you of ways to stay in contact with Eric, I just want to remind you, why are we in your feed today? We are in your feed today because it is Founders Day. Founders Day is the day that we celebrate our founding. It's been 3 years for Elevate Vocal Arts and for Elevation. And we are asking for your support to ensure that we can move meaningfully into the future in a well-resourced way. So please consider making a contribution. The QR code is there. No gift is too small, and certainly no gift is too large either for you to give today. If you're looking to make a major gift or one of security, stock, or some sort of distribution from a donor advised fund or a retirement account, please send us an email. We'd be happy to get in contact with you and have a conversation with you today. So please share, our links, our donation pages. We'd love to hear from you so that we can continue this great work and to continue to support wonderful artists like our vocal artists that you just heard, such as our wonderful collaborative keyboardist and composer in residence, Eric Meyer, to support our school residencies throughout the state of Delaware, to continue Bent But Not Broken, our premier conference that amplifies the contributions of Black choral musicians and scholars. So it's just a lot of good work that's happening. And for it to continue happening, we need your support and more. We have a $25,000 challenge grant that we need to secure. So every gift that you give between now and the end of the year will be matched dollar for dollar up to $25,000. And here's the thing, we need your help to get that $25,000. It's really critical. It's really crucial. So please, 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 we ask for you to consider giving a contribution. Any amount helps. If you've already given this year, we'd love to ask you to consider giving again. If that's not possible, we thank you for that contribution. If you've not given yet this year, why not? There's so much that you can help us with your financial gifts and your support. So thank you again to everyone. Thank you for joining us. Eric, before we sign off today, Eric, if folks want to stay in contact with you or learn more about you, how can they do that?
I would say go to my personal website, which is my wife and I, aemeyer.com. I think Sam put up the QR code at the top of the page. That's probably the best way to get in contact with me. There's a form there you can fill out, or just ask someone for my email or phone. I'm available.
Awesome.
But yeah, the website will have everything from our sort of performing work to my composition and everything in between.
And it is a great site worth checking out. Him and his wife do some amazing, amazing work and performances. So check out what they're doing. Commission Eric for works for your choir too. There's nothing better than a tailored piece for your ensemble, that's for sure. It's like getting a tailored suit for sure. So thank you everyone for joining us for this live stream. We'll have another one coming up in about 30 minutes at the top of the next hour. So again, thank you, thank you, thank you. We again want you to participate in Founders Day in any way that you can. If it's not giving a financial contribution, please share our donation links on your personal social media networks, email and text your friends. Help us reach this goal. All right. We really do need your help, and we can't do this work without you. All right. So thank you, everyone, for your support, not just today, but your support every single day. So thank you again. Thank you all. And please, please, please make sure you donate today.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone.